Welcome back, people, to another episode of the Premier League prediction series. This is week 14 of the Premier League. 5 more weeks and we've hit the halfway point of the season already. This season is going way too quick. So, 7 matches are getting played on the Saturday. That's the 3rd of December. The first game is a home game for Manchester City against Chelsea. I think it's a 12:30 kickoff, and there's only about a point difference between the two teams. It's first versus third, and whoever wins could go a minimum of 2 points clear at the top until Liverpool play on the Sunday. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult match to decide or to predict what the fixture is going to be, because both teams are going to be extremely well in defence, or they should be aiming at being very defensive, and honestly, if I was a manager in a tight game like that, I'd play defensive and on the counter attack and try and get a cheeky goal. I reckon it's gonna I want to say it's going to be a draw. The Chelsea versus City game should really end off as a draw. There's too much on in stake for them to there to be a winner, but I want to say Chelsea to win 2-1. And that was on the spot. I really think Chelsea will win that game 2-1. Keeping Chelsea top of the table by 4 points if they do win 2-1. Moving on to the 3 PM kickoff games on Saturday. The first game I'm going to mention is the Crystal Palace versus Southampton. Crystal Palace are 17th and have only won 3 games this season. Southampton not done too much better. They've only won 4 games, but they've drawn plenty more. They're 10th in the league with 6 points more. Honestly, that game in my eyes is going to be... after the result where it was 5-4 against Swansea, I can't see it being little in the way of goals. But I can't see Southampton losing. So something like a 3-2 result looks possible. But I'm going to say a 1-0 result to Southampton, just because I don't want to go too wild. The next game I'm going to mention is the Stoke City at home against Burnley, who are 11th and 13th in the league. There's only 2 points that separate them, and that's down to Burnley losing 2 more games than Stoke have, with Stoke drawing the 2 games that Burnley lost. If this was a fixture from last season, I would have said Stoke would have won this with ease, because of their strike force was so much better last year. I'm not too sure what's happened over the summer between last season and this season, but it's just not the same strike force as it was last year. Burnley have got an incredibly strong defence. I still don't think their attack is as good as it could be, although I might be a little bit biased there, but I'm going to call this one a 1-1 draw, just because I can't see either of the 2 teams winning that match. Current Premier League champions Leicester City are playing away to Sunderland, who are back at the bottom of the table with only 8 points. Both teams have been incredibly poor this season, and honestly, I want to say that Sunderland will win this game. Not because Leicester are doing bad, but the fact that Sunderland are trying to win games a lot at the moment. Even though their results aren't going their way, they are still trying to score, and they're still trying to win a few games. I reckon this is going to be a 2-1 result. I think Sunderland are going to score 2-1. Their defence is too sloppy to keep a clean sheet, I think, this season. The next match is Tottenham Hotspurs versus Swansea. Swansea obviously winning their last game with 5-4 against Crystal Palace, as I mentioned earlier in this episode. I don't think Tottenham's won... I think they've only won 1 game in 5 matches at this point. They've drawn a few games, but they're not winning games where they should be if they're trying to win the Premier League this year. So it's 5th against 19th. Tottenham should easily be favourites to win this game, but the fact that they're drawing a lot of games at the moment, I think it's either going to be a 1-1 draw, and who knows, Siggy might even score for Swansea and score against his former club, or Tottenham will nick it and it'll be a 1-0 game. I can't really see there being too much in it. I can't see Swansea winning this game at all. If I had to say a final score, I would say a 1-1 result, just because Tottenham are in this drawing situation at the moment. Moving on to the next game, it's West Brom versus Watford, which is another 3 PM kickoff game. Then 8th and 9th in the league, 18 points to 17 points in the Premier League. And honestly, between the two teams, I would almost say I think Watford should win that game. Watford are the point above in the league, but I think they've got a better attack force and probably a better midfield than West Brom. Don't get me wrong, I like West Brom, and their team with Tony in charge is fantastic, but I just think Watford have got the better of the two teams. And I'm going to say 1-0. Will I say 1-0? Yeah, I'll go with a 1-0 result to Watford against West Brom. The final game on Saturday is a 5:30 PM kickoff match against West Ham versus Arsenal. This is a game which obviously it's a London derby match. It should have plenty of goals and plenty of action. So I'm going to call it as 3-2 to Arsenal. I think I said that as the same result as West Ham versus Tottenham actually from the other week. But yeah, 3-2 to Arsenal. Moving on to the final two games for Sunday. The first game is at 1:30 PM. It's Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Honestly, this should be an easy game for Liverpool. I wonder if Ibe, or however you say his name, will be playing for Bournemouth in this match, or is he still injured? Or is he injured? I can't remember now. But yeah, I think Liverpool should easily win this game. 2 or 3 goals. If they're going to come back to how they were last couple of weeks ago, then easy 2-3 goals. So yeah, 2-0 to Liverpool. And the final game, which is a Sunday match at 4 PM, it's Everton versus Manchester United. Being a Manchester United fan myself, I might be a little bit biased. They beat West Ham in the Cup 4-1, and if they carry on their goal scoring ways, then they should easily beat Everton 3-1 at least. But like I said, my opinion on Man United should be void for this sort of video. And the final match for this weekend is a Monday match. It's Middlesbrough versus Hull City. Final score 1-1. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please hit that like button, sub to me if you are new, and please leave some feedback below.